Okay, looking at the podium from left to right, we have Phillip Walker, head coach Matt Rhule, and safety Sean Chandler. Coach, congratulations on the first American Athletic Conference Championship. If you'd like to give an opening statement, your thoughts on the game, then we'll take it for questions.
Well, as I said before, it's an honor to come here and play against the United States Naval Academy, Coach Neil Matalolo. I certainly hope that Will Worth and some of those guys that left the field are healthy and ready for next week. I thought it was a tremendous team victory for us. Our defensive student athletes set the tone. We played tremendous defense. They didn't waver when things got down in the red zone. They just kept playing. And then offensively, I thought we were extremely explosive at the start. The guy to my right made some big-time throws. And once we got the lead, we tried to control the clock. It was great to get it punctuated with a final run there. So just a tremendous honor. We're so blessed to be able to coach these kids. They're wonderful, wonderful people. They never faltered this year. They battled through adversity. And I think we can say that we're one of the top teams in college football right now based upon the way we've played. And so that was fun to watch them play that way today.
Take questions. We have a microphone. We'll get it to you.
Coach, when you got here, you had that press conference, and then a few days later you had a halftime speech at the Leocora Center, and you said you wanted to bring a championship trophy to Temple. To finally do that, just what does it mean to you?
Well, again, you're probably getting tired of my answers. For me, it means one thing. It means, the promise has been fulfilled. And Temple University has been unbelievable to my family and I. 10 years we've spent here, and it's been nothing but class. Tremendous people from the Board of Trustees to the administration to the people I work with day-to-day athletics. There have been people who've stood by my side. It's great to hug, Bill Mills and Pat Kraft and Kevin Clark down there. They were sitting there in the locker room with me after we lost to Fordham our first year, and to bring it full circle. So that to me is almost a relief of a job well done. The true thing for me about this is just to have these players be able to call themselves champions, because that's the way they live their lives. And when you win this conference, you've done something special. This is a fantastic conference with great teams from top to bottom. We have tremendous respect for everyone that we play, and for us to say that we did it, that's the accomplishment. But I'm just happy for these guys.
Matt, congratulations. At one point this season, you're 3-3. I heard the players came to you and just had some time with you, kind of saying we're not going to let it end this way. Can you talk about that a little bit?
And that really happened in the locker room after Memphis. Some guys spoke up and said what said what had to be said, and then they backed it up with action. They went there and they practiced and they lived their way. And I'll say this before that, we weren't a bad team before that. We faced 3 really good teams. We faced a bowl-eligible Army team. We faced the number 5 team in the country and lost by a touchdown. And we lost to a Memphis team that beat Houston, a ranked team. And we lost to them on the road by a touchdown. So we knew we were close, but the competitors that we have on our team, the men that we have on our team, they were just ready to take one more step, and that's what they did.
Champ, could you talk about the triple option? You guys were not letting them have anything inside, outside early in the game. It really seemed to deflate them.
Yeah, we definitely did. We practiced that all week, and we knew what the task was going to be, and we came out here and played it efficiently.
Sean, when you're preparing all week for Will Worth and then he gets out of the game, what was that kind of like?
We really don't practice for players. We just wanted to go out there and dominate each and every play one play at a time. It wasn't a player that we were focused on. We just wanted to play good defense.
Phillip, just your time here as a Temple Owl, obviously starting out 2-10, then 6-6, and now back-to-back years of going 10 wins total. What does that mean to you and just the progress of this team as a whole?
It means nothing to me, but a lot to the program. I told Coach Rhule before I got here it's gonna happen. So that was the process of me just trusting and just keep doing what I've been doing, go out there every day, and bring my effort, my energy every day, and hopefully everybody else around me will follow. So just going in there every day and just competing and playing at a high level, it showed that we had a really good team that was capable of doing a lot of good things.
Phillip, can you just talk about your trust for Keith Kirkwood? He had that drop in the first quarter, and then he responds with another catch, and then he throw the bomb to him for a touchdown. So just thoughts on Keith Kirkwood, your trust in him?
Kirkwood, he probably tried to run in the first quarter, the first drop he had, and we ran the same play the next time. It was the same exact play. He made a big catch across the middle. And I think the bomb, we didn't even run it in practice this week. We didn't throw that post ball in practice. But, I know how fast Kirkwood is. I know he could get behind the defense. It looked pretty good. So I just gave him an opportunity to get the ball in his hands, and he made a great play.
Congrats, guys, on winning the championship. I want to know, you guys have beaten a ranked Navy team. You guys are champions of the American Conference. Do you guys think you guys put enough on your resume to go ahead and think you guys should be representing the Cotton Bowl?
Who are you asking? You're probably going to
All you guys.
all three of us.
All three of you guys, yeah.
Well, you know what? Here's what I won't do. I'll never talk down about another team. And I think any team that goes undefeated, I wish them all the best. But I mean, we are the sixth power conference. I mean, if you win this league, you should go to a New Year's Six Bowl. That's neither here nor there. And then I think when you see what our teams in our league have done in those New Year's Six Bowls, you should want to have us there. I mean, we've beaten 2 top 25 teams this year in South Florida, who I think AP and coaches poll is ranked. We've beaten a Navy now, who's a ranked team, and really we should be a ranked team. So we had 3 losses early to the number 5 team in the country and to a pretty good Memphis team. But over the last half of the year, I would say that we're as hot as any team in the country. And I'm not saying anything negative about anyone else, but we should be playing on the New Year's Day Six Bowl.
Coach, over the last couple of years, you've shown your dominance across the state of Pennsylvania. Last year against Penn State, you've definitely showed. What is your recruiting plan across Penn State and your plan for the future?
Well, we're going to be on the road tomorrow. Some guys are staying here tonight, and they're heading out at first thing tomorrow morning. But we want to find the right type of person. We want to find Temple guys like this that are tough, that go to class, that do things the right way. We don't pay attention to who else is recruiting somebody or anything else other than, are they going to come here, or are they going to trust the process? Are they going to get developed? Do they want to be great men, and do they want to be great students? And so we've got a bunch of Temple kids out there right now, and we'll continue to find them. And I think it's working. I mean, these guys are a tremendous example of what Temple football is all about.
Champ, you missed some time during the year. Was a moment like this kind of really push you to kind of get back and play this year?
Yeah, definitely, because I knew what the task at hand was to send our seniors out with a bang, and I felt like we did that today.
With a what?
With a bang.
Oh, with a bang. I thought that was a new...
Matt, could you just talk about offensively the game plan? It seemed like you guys were hitting on a lot of big plays. Some of those end arounds went for some big plays, and the Kirkwood touchdown. Ventel had a 22-yard touchdown.
Yeah, I think early on, a lot of those plays were check plays. I don't know if Phillip ever gets enough credit for he's checking us into the right play, depending on what they're in. And so we early on had that sort of approach. We had some more throws down the field, and the wind early on really, kind of maybe talked us out of some of those. I think the first drive that we scored, to score 2 touchdowns into the wind were just amazing throws by him. The throws to Kirkwood and then the throws to Ventel. And then they sort of changed what they were doing. They came with a little bit more blitz, so we kind of tried to hang in there. Knew we had the lead, and we felt good about our defense. So it was more, don't worry about style points, just win the game. Eat the clock up, take 5, 6, 7 minutes. And I think it was great at the end to finally, punctuate with a touchdown. But, yeah, there was definitely the plan to kind of get them loosened up early and see if we could take advantage of some balls in the perimeter and some deep shots.
Yeah, Matt, those last couple of minutes, knowing pretty much you have it, what's going through your head after the 4 years and knowing you're about to win the championship? Do you let yourself have a moment to think about while it's happening?
For me, it's hard for me to enjoy the last minutes because I was on the staff here when we came here. We were up 27-7 going into the fourth quarter, and we lost. So probably till about a minute left, I was of that kind of mindset. But at the end of the day, I expected to win the game, not because I thought we were better. I just go into every game expecting to win. And for me, it was very simply about making sure that, number one, we showed the respect to Navy that they deserve. They're a great, great, great football team and a tremendous coach and tremendous players. I wanted to make sure we showed them the proper respect. And then I wanted to enjoy it, watch our players enjoy it, and enjoy it with our players and my family. So.
Did you learn anything from having played Army that was able to transmit?
I think after the Army game, I said to all of us, when you play one of these teams that cuts you open, you find out what's in your soul. And I think what we found after the Army game was, it wasn't about the X's and O's. It was a lot of guys weren't ready to go fight for 4 quarters and play 60 minutes no matter what the score was. So we had to work on that. We had to kind of go back to remembering who we were. We had to kind of go back to the drawing board. But at the end of the day, I think when we walked out there today, we had a team that said, no matter what happens, we are going to fight, scratch, and claw for 60 minutes together. So we came a long way. It wasn't really about dive, option, or pitch. It was more about our guys playing the way that they're capable of playing.
Phillip, I'm sure you're over here to your left. I'm sure your ankle feels just fine right now, but take us through the reality of the week, and then also, first thing, what was the wind like out there for a quarterback?
The wind wasn't that bad. I felt like if I could just spin the ball, I could spin it. So the wind wasn't that bad for me. So, but other than that, I thought it was pretty good. Coach Rhule sheeped out on a couple throws, talking about the wind was blowing. I was scared. And other than that, during the week, I just got a lot of treatment. Probably 4 times a day. And, I think Al did a great job just making sure I was in there and making sure I was getting a lot of treatment.
Phillip, how much did that first drive give you guys a boost, the way you moved the ball like that and started the game like that?
It was big for us just because on first down we need positive plays, and we got them. And we was in 3rd and manageables. We had a 4th and probably like 8, which was, I think, is pretty good for us. We know we got the good receivers that can execute a long drive. So just getting the balls in our playmakers' hands and letting them make plays. That's what our offense is all about.
Sean, talk about your tackling today. They really can do damage, obviously, if you miss tackles and they turn 8-yard play into 20-yard play. So talk about your tackling today as a team.
Yeah, we definitely focused on that during the week, and we knew that we were going to have to tackle well in order to beat this team. Because, like you said, they'll make big plays if you miss one tackle, and we definitely focus on that throughout the week.
Give about 2 more.
PJ, I know you got asked about it a lot leading up to this game, and now that you've won a championship, when you think back to just how much was hanging in the balance in that UCF game and engineering that drive, to think about things coming full circle now, what goes through your mind when you think of how the season could have gone one way and now it's here?
You think back and you say, if we would have lost this game, something probably could have happened, but we didn't, and we're here now, so that we did what we wanted to do. During the beginning of the year, we were saying, let's go 15-0 or 14-0 or whatever, and we lost our first game, and then everybody just, got shook up about what we wanted to do. Our goal was still in front of us, and it was to win this conference championship.
Coach, you've done a great job today, with this game and stuff like that. You talked about how this conference should be equal up to the Power 5. How do you think you do against Alabama? How do you think you do against Michigan, things like that? This conference, USF, teams like Temple, how will that equal up?
Well, I think I'm referring to the parity of the league, and I think I'm referring to the bowl games. One of the great things about bowl games is, even if you go back historically, you compare conferences and you get a chance to see how this conference would stack up against that conference, how this player would stack up against that player. So I think as I said, I have a lot of respect for Tom Herman. When a team in our league can beat the number 3 team in the country twice in a year, but they can't win their side of the league, it means you have a really strong league. And when you have teams that are in the top 25, you know what? Why not just let them play? Why not let us play just one bowl game? And it's not about us against, I'm not saying anything about Western Michigan or anybody. I'm saying something about this league, because this is a tough league, well-coached league. When you have to week in and week out go against Tom Herman and Ken Niumatalolo and Scott Frost and Phillip Montgomery and Willie Taggart and Tommy Tuber, you're going against some of the best coaches in college football. And so if you win this league, you should have a chance to show the country what your team can do against a team from one of those other leagues. But at the end of the day, we're just happy to have that championship trophy. I don't say that because we want to necessarily go to a certain bowl. I say that because I want our league to be represented, because if you win this league, it's quite an accomplishment, and these kids just won the league.
Matt, I wonder if you could talk about the decision-making on 3 kicks for Bumeri.
In terms of what?
Well, the one was kind of long, and then you came back again, and then the last one was against the wind.
Yeah, so we thought down there, with the wind, we thought he could make it up to the 25-yard line. And then in pregame, we thought he could make it almost to 60 with the wind, right? So we kicked the one with the wind down here. We tried to throw a little catch and run to Ventel, hope to get it a little bit closer. And he hit it. He just missed it wide left. But, we thought he had enough distance. So when the ball came back again, we would have loved to have thrown the ball underneath, but we had no timeouts left. Trying to run the clock down, and didn't think we'd get that pick. Usually they would run the ball and get out of there, but they threw it. We picked it. They did a great job getting us down into field goal range, and then obviously he nailed it. So we knew he had the distance going this way. Going that way, that's why I went for a 4th and 8 on the first drive. I didn't think he could kick it out past any closer than the 25-yard line. And then when he made the kick, obviously that was good. So we just tried we weren't really expecting that wind, especially one way today, to be that fierce as it was. So we just tried to manage it as best we could with the kicking. That's why you saw us kicking off, squibbing the ball that way and kicking it deep this way. So.
Second thing I wanted to ask, you mentioned during the week how the Navy staff had answers offensively for everything you would try defensively. There must have been 3 or 4 times where they had to call timeout on offense. Do you feel like in that sense you guys, had it sort of what you were doing up front and moving and scheming was really effective?
I don't know. I'm not going to comment on them. I just thought Phil Snow did a tremendous job today of playing multiple defenses against the option, and you can only do that when you have players that can handle multiple defenses. Usually this offense is so hard, most people play one defense against it. But because of the time that the Sean Chandler and Delvon Randall and Nate Hairston and Artrell Foster and Hassan and Praise and Avery Robinson and Michael Dogby, I mean, it looked to me like Jared Alwan played an unbelievable game. I haven't seen the film, but it just seemed hit after hit. Stephon Marshall, Avery Williams. How about Avery Williams goes down, he gets kicked out of the game. Then we put in a Toki, he breaks his hand, and then we literally are moving people to positions they hadn't played against the option all week. But we have kids that are so bought into the process of preparing that it allowed Phil to play multiple defenses, and I think that gave us an advantage.
Temple, thank you, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.